Well, China is cracking down on writers. They're arresting writers of fiction in the country. That, ladies and gentlemen, yes, most of them are women. Yes, they're arresting women that are writers in China. This is censorship. This is what happens when you have censorship. It doesn't matter what classification they are writing, but it is just plain censorship itself. And this is going on for quite some time now. This is one of many countries that are looking to ban certain things, so they take control of the internet, control on what's in your bookstore, control what is on your streaming channel, or if you have if you're still on cable or broadcast or linear TV, what's on that platform in itself, the video games that you play, the music that you listen to. This is the situations that have been coming across for quite some time now. But before we get into this, I just want to take a moment to tell you to drop a comment, a like, share, and today is the day. I want you to hit that subscribe button. I know you've put it aside before, but if you've watched several of our videos, by now you should be already a subscribe partner on there, that you're part of the family. We really do appreciate it. Now, whether you do it or not, we still appreciate that you come down and click on our videos, comment and like and share on there. We really do appreciate that. And if you have gone the further route, in our description line below at our gear shop, or maybe drop a couple of dollars just for a cup of coffee, we really do appreciate that at this time period. But it's very important you hit that subscribe. It keeps us in the algorithm as best we can, especially with YouTube changing the rules during the slow period of the year, which basically, in other words, nobody's noticing it at this time period. So I have two articles here, and we're taking a little bit of the both. From Adult Video News, China authorities arrest female erotica authors. Police in China have arrested at least 30 writers, nearly all women in their 20s, for violating the country's punitive pornographic and obscenity laws, reports the BBC. Many of these people are out on bail and awaiting trial, but some of the authors remain in custody. One user, going by the handle Ping Ping Anyan Yongfu on the Chinese microblogging social network Weibo, told the BBC, "I'll never forget it, being escorted to a car in full view, enduring the humiliation of stripping naked for the examination in front of strangers, putting on the vest for photos, sitting in a chair, shaking with fear, and my heart pounding." What's her crime? Her crime is writing erotica. Erotica. Do you believe this? The New York Times offered a similar reporting at the end of June. The author of the report, Vivian Wang, a Beijing-based correspondent for the Times, recollected the experience of a Chinese graduate student who lives in the southern part of the country. The student, via Wang's reporting, said that she wrote a self-published romantic novel. Now, most people ask, well, what kind of erotica is this? Now, according to the BBC, that basically the lit work that's being done is being published in a Taiwan-based host platform. Notice, it's Taiwan. They're going after people that are on Taiwan base. It's Hangtang Literature City, and it is a platform, and it's known for Dami, or in Japan as you call Yao and Yaoi, which is mostly Yaoi. It's a genre of what do they call it? Boys' love and erotic fiction. It's sort of the LGBTQ version of 50 Shades of Grey. And, this is the situation. Yeah, it's words on paper. It's not pictures or anything to that nature. This is not something that basically is being sold to children. This is something that basically women, not men, okay? Understand this. This is women who are writing this. A lot of people will tell you that they'll say, well, take an example from anime and manga. all this stuff from anime and manga, and, the isekai and the hentai and all that. It's perverted men that are writing this and making this and stuff like that. You're incorrect on that. You're totally incorrect. A lot of these stories are written, same thing in anime and manga, are written by women. And you tell me that basically, and the thing is, this type of erotica is very popular with women. Always has been. Yao and yaoi, same situation. Women like the yao and the yaoi, especially the yao. And the thing is that this is these stories are targeting the gay community. And in China, when it comes to homosexuality, it's basically is a taboo in the country of China. This always has been to that point. Now, some people say, well, the Chinese are trying to promote traditional family values. And they think that basically this is a detriment to that. The stories. Here when I was growing up, I know a lot of women love the Harlequin romance novels. Now, for those of you who do not know what Harlequin romance novels are these were novels written for women, and there were stories of romantic adventure, relationships and love and having that, it would be sort of like things that women would fantasize, that they will look for a guy that looked like, the model Fabio on most of these covers. If you ever see a cover of a Harlequin romance, it's always a very, as they call it, well-built, sometimes long hair blowing in the wind type of guy. And these were popular with women. And it's the same thing that goes with this. People say, well, it's mostly gay people reading this. It's not gay people that are reading this mostly. This is just, this is women who are reading this. And, these are like novellas. It's the same thing. It's like a novella to them. But, and China's got it wrong to that point. Yes, we need to improve, the nuclear family. Yes, that is right. But this is not what's hampering that. Pornography is not hampering it. It's liberal, socialist, communist ideas that are hampering the nuclear family. Has nothing to do with this. It is, as one other person said on my comments, it is a red herring to this point. There is no problem with these story types. It is not a detriment to someone's mind. These are romantic stories. When you hear the difference between erotica and porn, these erotic stories, like I said, Harlequin romances, that basically it is a romance onto there. In fact, there is a anime right now that could end up to be the top anime of the year. It's called The Summer Hikaru Died, which is supposed to be very good. I haven't started it yet, but it is basically it's basically a gay relationship, but it also has horror elements on there. This will probably, it probably will be banned in China. You probably won't be able to see this in China at all. And there are plenty other stories similar to this, and many others that it's to that point. Arresting writers for writing erotic fiction. This is where we're getting to. How long before you see it in the United Kingdom or the EU or even in the United States? Because it has happened here before. Yes, it has. Not from the gay community, but books like The Lady's Chatterley Lover. You were basically arrested for having that book or selling it. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. And comment. Let me know your thoughts. This is a situation that's been going on. Just right out in the open. And before you say, no, it cannot happen here, it is already happening. It already happened before. and we can't allow it to happen again. So drop that comment, like, share, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, taking in all of our videos here on CuteCast TV, Man with the Show, Otaku Thursday, every Thursday right here on YouTube and Rumble, 6 p.m. On the evening on there, and that's Eastern time, ladies and gentlemen. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and so long.